Good morning, good morning. How are you? I don't have all the lights in the store turned on this morning, so it's cloudy and it's a little dark in the store, but it's comfortable and it's perfect weather. Perfect weather for planning your fall painting projects. And I have a rescue job this morning, a rescue. This little table, as cute as it can be, and I'm sure at one time in its life it was amazing, and it's not anymore, but it's a pretty decent piece. It's a combination of solid wood and fiberboard, pressed wood, and so it has a little bit of damage to it. I have a couple of pictures. Let me share with you because I want you to see someone took a lot of time somewhere in this life to make this piece really hand painted pretty. The color was great and the ivy on it was fantastic too, but it's really not anymore, and I don't think I can bring you in really close, but if you look on these sides toward the back, you can see where there was a little bit of moisture damage and it kind of ruffled it. So it has a ruffly finish to it, and it's just not pretty anymore. But we have these amazing colors for fall. So I thought we would dive in today to some great fall weather and some beautiful fall colors. So I'm really glad that you are here with me for this. So good morning. I'm Diane Pruitt. This is Two Girls Treasure in Florence, South Carolina. We're located just off Highway 52, about a mile down from I-95. And this is Coffee and Create. So grab a cup of coffee and let's do something special, and let's rescue this little cabinet today. So here's how we'll start. I have all of my materials over here. I have my comments on, so if you're with me this morning, say hi. Let me know you're here and let me know where you're coming from. I have my Saltwash mixing cup and of course my I Love Saltwash mixing stick, because we're gonna need this. I always work from the largest container of Saltwash because I use a lot of Saltwash. Have you gotten this yet? It's available on our website at twogirlstreasure.com. Just use the little magnifying glass and search for Saltwash. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and load this measuring cup up, and I'm gonna pour it in. Hold it down into the cup and hold the cup away from your face. This is a sodium silicate product, so it has powdery substance that comes out when you tunk it down in there. You don't want to breathe that in, okay? So just move it away from your face and cover the container back up when you're through. Set it to the side. I have chosen olive, which is our fall color recipe, 50-50 mix of midnight and marigold. How surprising. This is a yellow base. Isn't that neat? And I love that I had ball jars big enough to put these recipes in, because I think that's exactly what your fall recipe should go in. And who knows the name of this color from our fall recipe collection? Let's see if we can get Melanie. You can't play, you work here. LaDawn, good morning. Michelle, good morning. And Melanie, I'm so glad you're here. But Melanie, you can't play. If you're on this morning and you know the name of this color, I have a Rethunk Junk prize for you. With the purchase of your kit, I will send you something extra special. If you don't buy a kit, that's okay. I'll send you something special anyway. The name of this one? Anybody? Going once, going twice. Melanie, go ahead and answer. This is rhubarb. This is a 50-50 mix of wild berry and rustic clay. A little bit of a glare off that ring light right there, but it makes the most amazing, literally, rhubarb color. I love that Laura named this rhubarb. And when I say Laura, please know that I'm referring to our queen of all things we rethink and rethunk, Laura Whitlow from Rethunk Junk by Laura. This is her creation, her paint products, and we absolutely love them. Now, to do my salt wash, I always use the cheapest, most worn out paint brushes. These are my cheap chip brushes. Every tool has a place in life, and these have a place in my salt wash. That way, if I forget to wash them off, I have not lost a whole lot. So to mix this, I really feel like I want the rhubarb peeking out from underneath the olive. I'll do the olive over the top. I want the rhubarb underneath, so I'm going to start with my rhubarb. And I'm just going to crack this open, and pop goes the weasel. There we go. This is a lovely, lovely color. It looks orangey under the ring light. That's only because of the light setting I'm using. So I'm going to pour some of my rhubarb in over the top of my salt wash. How much, you ask? Well, if you look on the side of your salt wash container, it will tell you exactly how much salt wash to mix. You can always mix it a little bit lighter or a little bit heavier, depending on the finish that you want when you're getting ready to put your salt wash on. And as you work with your salt wash more and more, you'll get the feel for it, and you'll know your mixture. It's just like cooking. You don't have to measure everything. That's right, Mel. It's rhubarb. I'll have something special for you when you get here today. I promise. All right, mix this up. You want to make sure that salt wash is mixed in well. And you know what? Salt wash plays so well with Rethunk Junk paint products. Now, this isn't real thick, but I'm okay with that. As it dries and gets peaks on it, it will have all the texture that I need to go over the top of this with the olive. So I'm going to, now that we've got that mixed up, I have my little cabinet up on a roller dolly. So I'm gonna kick you back over to the main cam and bring you in so I can show you exactly how this will work. Let me bring this in just a little bit, and then I'll tip you down, because I'm going to turn this on the table. I actually put this up on the work table, so I wasn't down on the floor today, and I've got it on my little roller dolly so that we can use both cameras and you can see everything I'm working on. I'd like to tip you just a little bit more. Bear with me. Here we go. And if I get you in, I want to get you in a little bit tight on this bottom edge, because I want you to see this damage at the back side. See how it's flared out just a little bit? This part is just a fiberboard. Let me turn it around and I'll show you exactly how this is built. There's a solid wood piece across the top right here. And a lot of times people will look at furniture and they'll say, well, it's cheap wood or it's not real wood. And the fact is, all of this is real wood. It really is. It's just that some of it is a manufactured wood. So down here at the bottom, this is fiberboard. It's kind of, feels kind of like a cardboard, cloth-like, very soft and very susceptible to water damage. See that fuzzy stuff? That is what this furniture was made from. We'll address this in a little while. This back plate, however, well, this is a piece of Luan, so this is a good piece of wood. These side panels are MDF, medium density fiberboard. Same thing with the top. I've got you where you can't see it, but I'll lift you up again so you can. Let me see if I can make it stick this time. There we go. Medium density fiberboard, chipboard even, just not real. So you can see where it has swollen right here. It's not bad though, so I don't feel like I need to sand the top of this down. But if you ever have a piece of furniture that has this type of wood product, all you need to do, if it bubbles on the top, sand it down, sand it smooth so it's level with the rest of it. But that sits on top of a piece of real wood. Sometimes I just don't know what the manufacturers are thinking. And there's my auction number. All right, no matter what we're doing, I always start with prep. I want to make sure that my salt wash mixture sticks to this, so I don't want anything impeding on my ability to make this work well. So I'm going to scrub this off with my little scrubby pad. I'm going to scrub down here, and then I'm going to wipe it clean. I find that when I use my scrubby pad, a lot of times I get a little bit of residue, so I want to make sure I don't have that on there as I move through. Now I've already cleaned the front, and I need to clean the other side. I took the hardware off. I was late starting because I was studying on taking the inside hardware off. The doors have those little magnetic stays on them. You know, the kind that when you hear the door shut, it goes clip. Good morning, Alice. How are you, honey? I'm so glad you're here. We are working with Saltwash and 2 of the Rethunk Junk Fall Color Recipe colors in olive and rhubarb. I think this is going to look really good together. I'm going to put the rhubarb down first with the salt wash over it, and then I will put the olive over the top. Good and clean as it's going to get. And now I'm ready. I have the fan on. I have my salt wash mixed up, and as it sits, it gets a little bit thicker. So it's not bad. Gay, good morning. I hope you're still at home, just going to an appointment. That's all. That's all for today. That's enough for today. Y'all, I want you to keep our dear friend, our 2 girls treasure friend and family, Gay Ham. I want you to keep her in your prayers for the next few weeks. And let her know how much we love her. And we miss her. We miss her here. So when you put your salt wash on, you know what? Go all willy-nilly with it. Just go all willy-nilly with it. Get it on there. You don't have to be straight when you do this. This is a great painting medium for the kids to do. It really is. So if you have the grandchildren, if you have the nieces and the nephews, If you want to take your flower pots outside and make them beautiful for when the mums are ready, you just put those children outside in some paint clothes and you give them some Saltwash mixture. Don't let them mix it. You mix it up and let them go to town, because honestly, the more different ways you put this on and the more texture you create, the more texture you're going to have when you finish. I'm going to do that top edge right there, and I'm definitely going to do this bottom edge. Now, one of the challenges in Saltwash is when you have a lot of architecture. Let me show you. I'll back you up so you can see. You see my messy studio? It's getting better. We'll be ready for classes end of September. No, September. Yes, you know what? Labor Day weekend. We start classes Labor Day weekend. We sure do. There we go. Now, when you have architecture like this and you put your Saltwash on, well, of course, the object is to stipple it and get some peaks. It's like meringue. So when you do this and you're on architecture, not flat surfaces, it can be a little challenging when you get ready to smooth it down, because you're going to have to sand those areas. I recommend that you get the coarse grit or the medium grit sanding blocks, and I have one right here. I'll show you. But I'll recommend that you get those because they're squishy. They conform, and they will hit those areas just like you need it to. If you're using an electric sander, it's a flat, hard surface, and it's not really going to conform. I understand if you have a surf prep system, then you will not have those concerns. A surf prep is a conforming soft sander. It goes over everything. We do not have one of those sanding systems here at Two Girls Treasure, but that's okay. Not salty about it. See what I did there? Not salty about it at all. Once you get your Saltwash on your surface, you definitely want to make sure you go back and you give it those meringue peaks. Take your brush and just poke at it. It'll stand up. And what you're doing is you're creating the texture that will peek through your upper level color. Now, if you want multicolor and multi-texture, just mix another color up with Saltwash and go over this again. Today, I really only want the rhubarb and the olive. So I will bring the fan in because we're going to try to dry this as quickly as we can. I'm going to get that blob off the bottom. I want texture, I don't want blobs. I do not like blobs. So let's turn our cabinet, because over here on this side we have some odd architectural components to work with as well. Let me ease you back up a little bit. There we go. And I saw my sweet husband at the door, and I didn't let him in. I think that means he did not have his key with him, and I think he dipped out on me. So, honey, I'm sorry. I love you. Sorry I didn't let you in the store. Now, if you're just coming in, thank you for being here. We're working with a cabinet that I believe we are rescuing because it's a sad little cabinet. One time in its life it was beautiful, but it's not anymore. And parts of it are fiberboard and parts of it are wood. It has a neat structure. It has beautiful molding across the top, and it has some great architectural features on the doors and on the trim around the bottom. I love inset doors like this that have molding. I think they're absolutely beautiful. They do present a challenge when you are doing your salt wash because of the fact that you're going to sand once you get your salt wash product on. So what we're gonna do here is I'll open the doors. I say that after I've taken the hardware off. I have my screwdriver right here, so I'll just put it all the way in the hole and just gently pull it open. I don't want to pry on it because I don't want to wreck the hole right here. But I'm going to open that door up. I'll spin you back around a little. I want to make sure to keep the fan on that left side. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stipple my salt wash all over this door. Now, if I don't cover it completely, it's okay. The olive will take up residence in the spaces that I don't push the rhubarb into, and that'll be okay. If I cover it fully, that'll be okay too. I'm gonna brush it on, and then I'll come back and stipple it. The reason I don't stipple it from the beginning is because if I do, I will miss spots. And while I don't mind if I miss a few little spots, I really want that rhubarb to shine through that olive. So I want to make sure I get as much salt wash on as I can in all the little crooks and crevices. If you have any questions about salt wash, please let me know. It's a textural additive, and I know there are recipes for a lot of different ways to create texture on your furniture with your paint. This is my preferred product. It is not expensive. It comes in a super cute can, and it's a locally owned business, regional to here. If you're around Florence, South Carolina, Wilmington is right up the road. Wilmington, North Carolina is not that far away. And Saltwash is a fabulous product. I have used some of the recipes to create texture additive in my paint. One of the least expensive ways that's been recommended is baking soda. I don't find baking soda to give me the finish I want. I used to actually use baking soda to create my own chalk paint. Well, the object, once you put it on and you sand it back, is that you have a smooth, velvety finish. Well, I want a textural finish, so I use a texturizer. I use Saltwash anytime I want to create texture, because that's the product I have found over the years to work the most effectively for the finish I want. Good morning, good morning. Thank you so much for being here. If you are watching on YouTube, please make sure to click like and subscribe to the channel. We're building our YouTube presence, and I thank each and every one of you for your support. If you're on Facebook, whether you do it right now or whether you do it in a little while, click that share button. If your friends know that you do furniture or decor and your friends are like you, they may be interested in what we have to offer. And I would greatly appreciate all the support we can continue to muster up to grow our precious little business. So make sure you hit that like on the video and share it. Share it with your friends and family. And friends and family, if you have questions, don't hesitate to reach out. We're open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. But guess what? In 2 weeks, from Labor Day through Christmas, we will be open Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. until 6 p.m. We're gonna give it a shot, and we're gonna see if we can make it work, if we can get enough support to keep the store open and moving forward. And I know with your help and your support, we can do that. BC, before COVID, that's how we lived. I don't want to put a lot of texture over the top edge of this door. Here's why. When you close the door, it closes really well. Anytime you paint something, you add material. If I add too much texture and too much material to the top of this, it's not going to close real well. You can even hear it right now. It's got a little scrapey spot. And what will happen is I will have to come back and sand material off the door in order for it to close well. And I don't want to paint it just to take the paint back off. So always remember, especially when you're using your salt wash, be aware that you're adding material. And if you add too much material to the top of the doors, if they're loose, it'll help. But if they have a good fit, you will run into some issues when you get ready to close the doors, and you will have to sand some of your material back off. And that's not what we want to do. We don't want to sand off. Now, I'll do the inside and I'll do this front edge because it's not affected by the doors. So let's go ahead and let's get some on there right now. Just get it on there. It can go in any direction you want. I will stipple that as I go. I'll brush it on and then I'll stipple it, because we want to make sure this has that ripply, chippy, textural effect on the front as well, especially since this is where the doors open. This is where most of your wear comes from. I'm going to go ahead and ease you up a little bit. Let's see. Let me do this the right way. Mel is probably cringing from me touching the camera like this right now. Don't panic, Mel. I'm not doing damage. I love you. Hey, sister. Y'all, that's my sister right there. That's my inspiration. The light in my life. My older sister. My older sister. If you are trying to visit Two Girls Treasure right now, we are not open until 10 o'clock. Of course, that will change in 2 weeks on Labor Day weekend. But I'm in the middle of a live video right now, so I can't open the door, and I'm really sorry. Listen, I didn't let my husband in either, so I hope he's not really mad at me. I think he left. I wonder what he did with his key. I'll have to ask him when I do finally let him in. And it is 9:37, so we're doing pretty good here. Brush it on. See, that stippling takes a long time if you don't already have the paint on. So let me throw that paint on there. Now, if you were with me last Thursday on the Rethunk Junk main page, we filled in for Laura Whitlow and used Fall River, which is a beautiful blue combination. It's one of the fall color recipes from Rethunk Junk. It is 50-50 peacock feather blue and farmhouse navy. Well, I did some things to that table because, you know, I can't just paint it and leave it. And I will have some feature photos later on today. I have that piece ready to stage and photograph. So as soon as we get open and I have all the lights on, I will stage and photograph that piece. and share those pictures with you, because I think it turned out really, really cool. Can't wait to share it. These fall color recipes are fantastic, and we still have a special on them. You will get everything you need in a kit. So you'll get your prep, you will get both colors of your paint, and you will get a paint brush, because you're going to need a paint brush. And it's only $50. So we have those set up on the table. If you're local, make sure you take advantage, because in 2 weeks we will still have the color recipes, but the kit price will go away. The kit price is only good in August, and we're getting kind of close, y'all. We're getting in the short rows to September. Can you believe it? Bring on the pumpkin spice. Anybody had a pumpkin spice margarita? I'm just wondering if that's any good. All right, let's do this bottom edge right here. And I'd say that's a job for my friend, my pumpkin spice crazy friend. Because I know she's already got her pumpkin spice coffee creamer out. All right. I keep saying brush it and then stipple it, and I keep stippling it. I get lost in doing this. It's very therapeutic. It's just a squishy paint brush, some squishy paint. Fans blowing, it's nice and quiet. This is good paint therapy right here. Yes, it is. Maybe not as good as Yoga Mel, but still good nonetheless. I'm gonna leave that alone. And I'm gonna close that gently. I'm not gonna close it all the way. I'm gonna spin this on around, because this side's almost dry, y'all. Remember, use the back of your hand, not your fingertips. I've got a little bit of wet spots right there, of course, along the bottom edge, because that was what we did last. It will be okay. It is to the dry enough portion of the game. Now, before we put another color on, we just want to take our brush and we want to lay any of those meringue peaks down a little bit. We don't want to wipe off. We just want to lay them down a little bit. That'll help once we lay the olive over it. That'll help the texture once we get ready to sand it back. It does take a little bit longer to do your salt wash projects than normal. Don't let that be the point that you don't get involved. Both work, yoga, painting, all good. All good. No, Mel, pumpkin spice is awesome. I think we'll make a color. Now, I have my Worcester 2-inch. I have one of my really well-used ones. Until they're just dead, I don't throw my paintbrushes away. They're clean. They are clean, but they are well worn. I'm just gonna mist my bristles a little bit. I'll tamp it off, and I'm gonna go to town with my olive. So I wanna get a decent coat straight over the top of my rhubarb. I think the olive over the rhubarb is gonna look really, really good. I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong and it doesn't look good, you know what? All I've got to do is paint over it. With Rethunk Junk paint products, there is no waxing. If you don't like what you see, Step back away from it, decide what you want to change, and then go again. And it will be okay, because with fresh paint, with fresh Rethunk Junk paint, all you have to do is paint over. Just like that. Of course, we're gonna sand this back because this is gonna look so cool. All right. Olive. This looks like the colors that the trees start to turn. And of course, with rhubarb on it, it really looks like the colors the trees start to turn. I'm gonna move that. I'm gonna set that in. I have the fan blaring on this. Let me move it, and I'm excited. I am really, really super excited. It's 9:44 a.m. I can spin this and do just a little bit more olive if you want to. See this? And it's not covering the rhubarb completely. I don't think this is gonna be dry enough. Looks like no. This is not ready to do yet, but isn't that pretty? And I don't want to spin to this side because I will take the fan off of this. So, tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm going to pull this over, and I am going to let it dry, and I'll show you all the fall recipe bundles. There are 12 of them, and literally all you have to do is take equal parts of each of the two colors, pour them together. Of course, when you buy the fall recipe bundle from Two Girls Treasure in August, you will get a mixing cup that has a lid. So you can pour as much or as little as you want, equal parts. And there are hash marks on the side of the measuring cup, so you'll know exactly how much to put in. Black shadows and eggplant, we used those two first. We did the eggplant on the body of a entry table, and we used black shadow on the top. Now, the olive is the marigold and midnight. That's what we're using today over the rhubarb, which is wild berry and rustic clay. And then you have your fall blush, first frost, raffia, mocha, fall river. We used that Thursday. And your khaki, excuse me. Beautiful, beautiful color combinations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Pine shadow and midnight makes forest. That's the one I was missing. The air is changing, and it's time to break out your fall colors and make your home and your yard more beautiful. I'm going to keep pushing this back out of the way. Yes. Karen, good morning. Yes, it's going to look amazing, isn't it? By the way, Karen, you know I know what rhubarb is and how delicious it can be in a pie with strawberries. I'm hoping my sister Laura will bake me one. Linda, good morning. I'm so glad to see you here. I will let this dry because that's the hardest part of painting, is waiting. Fortunately, with our Rethunk Junk paint products, our typical dry time is about 15 to 20 minutes. And with our Saltwash additive, we really only have to wait a few more minutes because you want all that texture and goopiness to get good and dry before you hit it with sanding. I told you I was going to show you, and some of you probably already have these. This is the squishy sanding block. Really easy to use. And when you get ready to do that architecture on the bottom, and that beautiful molding on the top, you'll want something that will conform a little bit better than your regular hard surface electric sanders. So I am going to use my soft sander, my little squishy, and I'll do the architecture on this when it's dry. Stay tuned with me for the rest of the afternoon and into tomorrow as I post the updated photographs and the final photo of this piece staged. I will get the Fall River staged, and I will follow up with photos of that as well. Your dad always made that same pie. You know what? I can remember my nanny making multiples, and everybody got rhubarb and strawberry pie. It was so good fresh out of the oven. I miss that. The good times, right? I'm Diane Pruitt, and I am here with our Coffee and Create program live from Two Girls Treasure in Florence, South Carolina. Join us here every Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. We will paint and talk for about an hour about something spectacular that we have to create with here in the store. I am your authorized Rethunk Junk paint retailer in this area, so if you have any questions or you need some color consultation, we'll be right here to help you out. We have a lot coming up. Of course, next week, on Thursday this week, we have our live sale. On Tuesday next week, we will have a Coffee and Create again. And on Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time, join me right here. Not only are we going to have a live sale, we're going to have a live sale of all the brand new Iron Orchid Design fall and winter products, accompanied with some complimentary existing Iron Orchid Design products. You don't want to miss out, because you want to be one of the first ones to get your hands on all those wonderful products. Oh, Linda, thank you. You know what? It is a beautiful day. We're blessed to be here. Please keep our dear, dear friend Gay Ham in your prayers over the next days, and just pray that the good Lord will guide her and keep her and bring her back, because we miss her and we can't wait to see her here again at Two Girls Treasure. We're looking forward to seeing you as well, and your friends and some of your family. So make sure you click that like and share button on your Facebook feed. If you're on YouTube, thank you for being here. Make sure you like and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of the shenanigans right here from Two Girls Treasure. Thank you so much. Y'all take care. Have a blessed and wonderful day.